Hey Pokedad fan club, it's me Pokedad, and I know it's been a while since I brought one of these videos to you, but I'm back, and right now we're in a meta. Most of the big events that are left are all standard, and we're in Forbidden Light meta, where there's the big three. There's Malamar, and there is Buzzwole, and then there's Zoroark variant. And so today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of my Malamar list, my Malamar deck with original Necrozma, call him OG for short, and we play Marshadow and Sudowoodo. So this is similar to the Sam Chin Raul Reddy list that won, I can't remember which special event. But anyway, I have a few other things. Mine's a little bit different from theirs, so we'll get started right into this match. And looks like we got a decent hand here, because we can bridge it, get our Inkays out, and then if we need to, we can Ultra Ball next turn for a Lele and get a draw supporter. But this is a pretty solid deck. Solid start. Looks like we're going against Golisopod Zoroark, and they're playing the Parallel City, so that can be a problem for us. And oh, off of the mulligan we get a Cynthia, so wow, got a really good start here. So we'll go ahead and play the Bridget. Now we know they're playing Parallel, and it looks like two of the Inkays are prized. I play a 4-3 line of Malamar. Looks like two of them are prized. So the question is, what's the other thing we get? And so I opt for a Mew. I feel Mew is pretty versatile, because it can copy Dawn Wings or it can copy Necrozma. And then it also has the free retreat, so it gives us a float stone without needing a float stone. So it looks like we just do the Bridget, attached to the Psychic Energy, and pass. Our opponent starts with a Mewtwo, and yes, the Parallel City comes right down. I think that if I was my opponent, I would probably be looking for a turn 1 Bridget and probably get out a couple Zorua and maybe a Wimpod. So that's what they do. They indeed get the Lele, and we see a Bridget. And the thing about starting Dawn Wings in this matchup, and I'm recording this after I've already done the battle, so I kind of already know the results, but the bad thing about starting Dawn Wings, and I didn't know at the time, was that Zoroark, it's weak to Zoroark, so it does cause us a little bit of a problem here. But the Mewtwo can be a problem for our other Pokemon, so if we can possibly get this Mewtwo knocked out, even though it does put us on a 7 prizes and odd prizes here, it still can give us you know, at least a little bit to work with here. And we do get the Marshadow and an original Necrozma, so we actually can take a knockout here. So we're going to attach the float stone, we'll retreat, and then we'll Psychic Transfer, attach an energy, and we'll be able to hit the Mewtwo for a knockout here. And even though that's not like the greatest move in the world, it's still good. I know I half expect that my opponent will bring the Zoroark up and take a knockout on the Dawn Wings next turn. But if he does that, maybe we can play a cheeky little play with Marshadow and copy the Dawn Wings that goes to the discard pile. And getting that Malamar off of the prizes was really good for us, really clutch. And again, so he had both Zoroarks, evolves them both, and he has a Sycamore. Getting rid of Puzzle of Time. So he just really needs one more Pokemon and a DCE. There's the DCE. We've got trade number 1 coming, and then he gets another Wimpod down, so he's definitely taking the knockout. And we see a trade number 2. From our opponent. No, he just goes to Rise Feeding, which is interesting. I'm surprised he didn't trade 2, but maybe everything in his deck is something he wanted. Alright, so this is why we play Marshadow, to kind of even up the Zoroark matchup, and I frankly haven't had any problem against Zoroark with this deck. Necrozma can put in a lot of work, but we're discarding him, and Marshadow can copy that also. But right here we just really need an energy so we can copy. I think Dawnwing's GX attack would be a good here, so we do hit an energy so we can Psychic Recharge twice and we will be able to take a knockout, and also at the same time ensure that our Marshadow stays safe this turn. And I think most people are really thinking that the best Zoroark variant is Zoroark Lycanroc. However, I've seen a lot of people still playing Golisopod, and I'm not really sure why. But we have a lot of options, but we'll just use the Moon's Eclipse GX, take a knockout, and then we can potentially take a knockout again next turn. We really would like a Field Blower, because then we could Lele for a Guzma and take a knockout on another Zoroark. He does go ahead and promote the Zoroark, so maybe he has a Float Stone, because right now if he keeps that Zoroark in the active and doesn't play Guzma or something like that, then he is going to get knocked out again. And that will put us down to 1 prize. So he goes Mallow. So he's definitely not getting Guzma, so that means he's not taking a knockout this turn. I'm not sure what he could be getting. Maybe a Float Stone. Maybe getting a Golisopod ready. I would really think that their best move would have been to try to take out the Mew or a Malamar this turn. But he plays Double Puzzle a time. What's he getting back? Choice Band and DCE. So he doesn't realize that the Marshadow is invincible, so he's gonna try to attack, and he's gonna find out that it's not, and then we would just take a knockout on this Zoroark, and of course they scoop because they made the mistake. But even so, even if he didn't realize his mistake, I was down to 1 prize. I just needed to get something else charged up and take 1 more prize, probably a Wimpod or a Zorua. So you can see the speed of this deck is pretty good. Now this next match is going to be against a Buzzwole, and I have to say there's some misplays on both my side and my opponent's side. Let's just put it this way: I misplay so that I make it. I win this game, but I win it the hard way, and I'll explain as I'm going through that. But Buzzwole, you know, is generally, on one end, you said Zoroarks are typically a little more difficult for Malamar, but Buzzwoles tend to be a little more easy, especially Dawnwings. Dawnwings can just come in and one-shot Buzzwoles. But this match doesn't start super good for me. Matter of fact, at one point I still have 40 cards in my deck. My opponent is like less than half of his deck, like got 20 cards. As you can see, I don't start real well. So I start off with Inkay and a bunch of energy and a couple elixirs. So basically I attach the active and I pass. And that's it. I guess I'm contemplating playing an elixir here, but I don't. so I pass it. So my opponent plays down a Brooklet Hill. He starts with a Buzzwole and a Diancie Prism Star, and then he gets a Rockruff. And he Ultra Balls here. Gets rid of a V-String and a Lycanroc to grab a Remoraid. Okay, so he wants to set that up. And puts the Remoraid down, puts a basic energy, and then Sycamores. Ooh, high five, opponent. And then nothing else, he just Jet Punches here. He gets 50 to the active and 30 to my Inkay. Now at this point I'm debating, I'm thinking, do I want to, I'm really stuck here. So I think that the only play I really have is to go for a sleep flip here. So I retreat into the Inkay and I Brooklet Hill and I grab the Sudowoodo just to kind of give him a little bit of disruption so he can't put as much on his bench. And then I go ahead and max Elixir and I whiff that first Elixir. And then I max Elixir again. We're trying to thin the deck so that I get some draws. And we put that on the original Necrozma, and then we go for Hypnosis. And we indeed get lucky, and he flips tails, so he stays asleep. Of course, he can Guzma out of this, and if he gets a Float Stone, he can Jet Punch and take a knockout on the Inkay, even if it's on the bench. And I think if he has that option, that's probably what he should do. Looks like Strong Energy comes down to the Rockruff. We do have a Float Stone. And we have an Ultra Ball here, giving up a Cynthia and a Brooklet to get an Octillery. Alright, so now he'll be able to draw a few more, so he really just needs to do something here. And you see Octillery, Abyssal Hand for 2. And at this point I'm thinking, does he have anything at all? And I think he's debating about what he should do. I thought he was just going to pass, and I was going to be like, yes, I can take a knockout and get the Malamar in place. And so he goes in Brooklet Hills for another Buzzwole. Plays a Choice Band to that Buzzwole on the back, and then he Sycamores, but he Sycamores looks like 2 Guzmas away, which I think is a really bad play. I don't think you want to leave yourself in sleep in this position, especially since your board position is so strong. But he does. He wakes up, and then I just attach to Necrozma. I don't attach the Float Stone to this Inkay because I don't want the energy on it. And then I put Evolve into Malamar. I go ahead and Brooklet Hill because I do have one other fighting Pokemon, and that's Marshadow. And if this Necrozma goes down, then at least I have another attacker. And so I do Psychic Recharge here, and we hit, and then we can take Prismatic Burst knockout here. I still don't think, I think our position still seems pretty sketchy. But we can get another Prismatic Burst off and maybe make something of this game, because if the Necrozma goes down, then we can promote the Malamar, put the Float Stone on, and then we can Psychic Recharge and at least get another Prismatic Burst off. However, if he uses Lycanroc, we can't really do that this turn. So and he does, he's gonna, looks like he's debating on whether to use Bloodthirsty Eyes or not. And in this case, he does. He brings the Marshadow up. I think I can understand his reasoning for doing that, because it has an energy on it, and the Duskmane, or sorry, the original Necrozma doesn't. However, Marshadow doesn't hit for weakness on Buzzwole like original Necrozma does. So, I don't know, I think that's a little bit of a misplay. As you can see, I still got 40 cards in deck, and he's already down to 12 cards in deck. He missed his beast ring. I think he was just trying to really try to hit beast rings here. But he goes for the dangerous rogue here. And, you know, it really puts me behind. I did pick up the Lunala Prism Star out of the prizes, so I'm going to bench that. It is resistant to fighting, and it really looks like it's probably my best option here. And my thinking here is that if I use, what is it, Full Moon Star, I think, I can power up the Lunala Prism Star and the original Necrozma, and then I can have at least have an attacker ready for next turn. And plus that Lunala is pretty tanky, so it's possible that I could survive the attack, and then I could just attach. And so we'll see. So I think he doesn't really have a good way. He's missed his beast ring, it looks like, because this will be like his third turn, or at least his second turn, to use beast rings, and he hasn't used them yet. And right now it looks like I'm counting up the energies. So there's 1 energy on Buzzwole, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I attach, that's 9, and then he just attached again, that's 10. So now Lunala is doing 200 damage, and if he does, because I'm resistant, that Claw Slash is not going to take a knockout. It actually only does 130. So this is where I make a really big misplay. I attached to the Necrozma for some reason. I keep forgetting that the Psyshock, or whatever the second attack is, requires a 4th energy on it. And for some reason I was thinking 3 would have been fine, but I didn't. So it causes me to have to play do things the hard way on this match. So anyway, I do get the mysterious treasure and use it to grab a Lele, and for the first time in the game I'll be able to use a supporter. So now we can catch up a little bit. We've got Sycamore down, and indeed we still can take a knockout, even though I made a huge error here. This game shouldn't have been this hard, but I guess I wanted to just show you the power of Malamar, because I really think that this deck is super awesome. Even with this misplay, it's just really good. So we can Ultra Ball an energy away, and I guess the Mew seems fine. I don't have any more bench space anyway, and I guess we can just grab the Lele for next turn. But the biggest thing is we need to get the Psychic Energy into the discard pile, and so we're gonna. Oops, we almost made another misplay. We don't want to retreat yet until we Psychic Recharge, because we have to have. We're only doing 190. So we need the 4th energy to be able to take the knockout on the Lycanroc. And now we are going to do a Prismatic Burst, but the problem with this is if we had just attached to Lunala, we'd still have all of our energy in play. Now we have 0 energy in play, and so we really did this the hard way. Fortunately for us, though, our opponent really doesn't have. He missed his Beast Ring opportunities. He's gone through most of his deck. He does put Beast Energy down, Maybe he can take a knockout here. He would need an elixir and to hit an energy. But he sycamores again. Like, this is like the 4th or 5th turn in a row where he sycamores, and he sycamored a ton of stuff away. He's only got 3 cards left in the deck. And so what we need to do, even let's say he does take a knockout, all we really need is to find a Dawn Wings or another Necrozma, and we can take a knockout. But he doesn't even get, he just jet punches and he doesn't take a KO on the Necrozma. So we have game in hand now. We just evolved the Malamar. We can Guzma up the Buzzwole, and then we'll attach, well, we'll Psychic Recharge twice. Attach the energy, and then use Prismatic Burst again. And I don't know about you guys, I kind of like the Psychic Necrozma better than Ultra Necrozma, but what are your opinions? Tell me in the comments below what you think is better, regular Necrozma or Ultra Necrozma. I just tend to like the regular Necrozma more. I think it's more of a preference, and I think in certain situations, I think Ultra Necrozma has a better Zoroark matchup than Psychic Necrozma. But anyway, we finished that game off, and momentarily I'll show you the deck list here. It's pretty typical, it's pretty similar to most of the lists you've probably seen. Plays the 4-3 line of Malamar. I know a lot of people are keen on the 4-4, and I've even considered going up to that. 2 Dawn Wings, 2 originals, Mew, Lunala Prism Star, Marshadow, and the Sudowoodo. I don't play Parallel City, but I do play 3 Field Blowers, and then I play a healthy amount of draw supporters with 4 Float Stones. There's a couple things that could be changed. I'm not sure Professor's Letter is needed. I only play 2 Ultra Balls and 4 of the Mysterious Treasures. But anyway, guys, take a screen capture of this and try it out for yourself. It's a lot of fun. I really like Malamar. I think it's one of the top decks in the format right now. I think it can go toe-to-toe. Obviously, it beats Buzzwole pretty bad, and it can go pretty toe-to-toe with most Zoroark variants. So I feel like it's pretty good. You do need to consider the mirror match. But anyway, guys, that'll be all for it. Thanks again. Hit like, subscribe, and give me a comment below telling me what your favorite deck from Forbidden Light is. Even if it's an older deck but it has new cards, tell me what you like in the comments below. Anyway, guys, thanks PokeDad Fan Club, and I will talk to you later. Bye.